In this video, we're going to find out how to find the roots of a quadratic graph. Now, roots is just a posh word for the x-intercept or intercepts, basically where the y coordinate is going to be 0. So if we were to draw a quadratic graph, the roots would lie on the x-axis and it would be of the form of a constant number and 0, and a constant number and 0. A and B do not have to be the same, nor does it have to have one on one side and one on the other side of the y-axis. They could both be on one side like that, they could both be like that, but I think you can also have ones where it's maybe like that, where it touches the once. So some of them only have one root, and there are some equations we'll see later on in the course where there are no roots. We'll come to that much later on. Basically what we're trying to do is find out what the x-coordinates would be at these two locations. Now to do this, all we're going to do to begin with is to set y equals 0, because that's what our y coordinate has to be, and then we're going to factorize our two expressions here, okay? There's two different graphs. So we're going to say we've got x squared plus 4x minus 21 equals 0. Now, there are no common factors, and there are 3 terms, which means that we have to factorize using our trinomial method. So we need 2 pairs of brackets. We know that to make x squared up, traditionally we have x times x, and we want 2 numbers which times together give you 21, where the difference gives you 4. So 2 numbers times together give you 21. We take away one from the other gives you 4. We have 7 and 3. And because we've got a positive 4, remember that it must mean we've got 7 minus 3 to give us a positive 4. So positive 7 minus 3. At this point here, we've now got 2 brackets or 2 values where they're timesing each other together to give you the value 0. Now the only way that can happen is, the only way we can times 2 numbers together and get 0 as an answer is if one of these 2 values is 0. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to hypothesize that either x plus 7 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. So if x plus 7 is 0, that means that x must be negative 7, so that means it crosses at negative 7, 0, or x equals, well, minus 3 goes over, positive 3, so it crosses at 3, 0. Okay, so minus 7, 0 would be that point there, and positive 3, 0 would be that point there. Let's try again with another example. We've got x squared plus 9x plus 20. So, first step, equate to 0. So that's our first step, equate to 0. Then what we did after that was we factorized. So, again, we've got 1, 2, 3 terms, which means you need 2 pairs of brackets equals 0. X times x will give you the x squared. 2 numbers that times together to give you 20, where they add up to give you 9. So 2 numbers that times together to give you 20, where the sum is 9. It's 4 and 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 plus 5 gives you 9. And because they're adding together, that means they're both going to be the same sign. In this case, we want a positive 9, so that's positive 4 plus 5. Next step is our either-or statement. So in this one we said either x plus 7 is 0 or x minus 3 is 0. So over here we have x plus 4 equals 0 or x plus 5 equals 0. Okay? So if x plus 4 is 0, that means that x equals negative 4 or x equals negative 5. So this point here would give you the root of, the root in the graph would be negative 4, 0, and this one over here will give you the root of minus 5, 0. So this graph, because it's a happy smiley face again, if we imagine what that would look like. So if even if doing the scale, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and your graph would look something like that. So -5 and -4. Okay, eventually it'll cross the y-axis and you could work that out later on. But in terms of the general roots, that's what we're looking for. Now, not all examples have to be used with trinomials. If I gave you an example for x squared minus 4x equals 0. So if it had been y equals x squared minus 4x, we've equated to 0. We now have to factorize. So in this case, we've got a common factor of x. So x bracket x minus 4 equals 0. We could then do the same idea again. We now have to make our either or statement. So either x equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. Well, x equals 0, that's us done. That must be 0, 0. Or x equals positive 4, so that would be the point 4, 0. So again, what that would look like. Again, not completely to scale. We've got a root at 0, and we've got a root at 4, and our graph would do something like that. Maybe y and x. Okay, in this one we can obviously see that the y-intercept is 0 already, so we wouldn't have to work that out again. It always crosses once. Okay, now try some for yourself. Find something that factorizes. Remember, equate to 0, factorize it, make your either or statement, and then solve the equations. And please always remember to show us what those coordinates would look like afterwards. Thank you very much.